welcome back. So I haven't posted in some time, and I know that I've put a community post up about this current project that I've been working on, and there was some interest. So I thought, well, that's just like I said, I would do a follow-up on it, showing the final results, if there was any interest, and so there was, and I'm making good on it. So I thought rather than showing the final result, I would show some of the process that I've been going through in actually producing the result. I thought that might be of some interest. So this project, if you didn't see the community post, is a couple of Victorian antique mantles that we inherited that we contemplated what to do with, and so they're perfectly good, and normally pieces like this would have just gotten dumped, not because of anything wrong with them, but because it's not currently a popular style. So we thought, they're just too good to throw in. Originally, they had an elaborate bracket in the middle, and if you're familiar with the style mantles, they have a very deep shelf that overhangs quite a bit, and it's very thin in comparison to its depth. And it's not currently a very popular style. People like a bit more of a streamlined, sleek, tighter finish rather than those deep shelf tops. The other issue was that the tops weren't the right kind of marble. I don't know what happened with the history of this piece, but the tops that came with them were in a different type of marble that didn't match this. It didn't make much sense to keep those tops. So what we intend to do is we intend to get a match of marble and profile it and design it so that it's more sleek, but in keeping with the details of the piece, because it was beautifully made. These pieces were back in the period were mass produced. In the height of the Industrial Revolution, they were made for import or export. I'm not sure if these were made domestically or if they were made in Italy, because this is Carrara marble. Whoever made this or wherever it was made, it was very well done, but also very modular. Right? All these pieces are just plastered together, so they just have chunks of marble in behind with plaster that secures them all together. And it's remarkably strong. This piece is probably 1880s, 1890s. And you think about all that time, and it's an extremely well-made piece. So we've come up with this bracket that kind of echoes the same kind of detailing, though the angle is slightly different. I think that it will work out just fine. And we're going to make up obviously two of these because we have two mantles. And then what I've also done is that this piece, the returns were in the wrong type of marble as well. So I made up these returns out of a very similar marble, and I stained them. That's why they look a little dirty. And then I'll back off the stain. So I'll clean off the stain the same way that I'm cleaning this mantle. And then, kind of merge the two. Because that's one of the issues about when you're trying to blend new with old, is that even when you clean an old marble, there's always going to be deposits that have soaked in over the 130, 140 years that this piece has been around. It's actually in fairly good state. These pieces were not heavily abused, but they were used. The one of them was more used than the other, and I think it was probably fairly recent in its history that it got quite smoky. But that being said, all that can be cleaned off. So I'm in the process right now of just honing it back. This piece was fairly highly polished, so I'm honing it back, and I'm going to bring it up to probably about a 400 finish. So it's going to be just pre-polish. It'll be smooth and clean, but not shiny, because that's currently not the aesthetic. And it's easy enough to bring up a polish later if somebody desires to. So that's yeah. So that's where I'm at, and I've got a little bit of a repair here on the base, and then that's going to be where we leave it. I'm going to install it in the other space up against the wall, and then we'll wait for anybody interested in it. This is this is just our way of finding a new purpose, a new life for old pieces that deserve to have a second chance. So one of the issues with the mantle was that the hearthstones were far too soiled and damaged to make of use. So I've made up a honed granite hearthstone for it, just for display purposes. And I gave it a nice linseed finish. I think it's quite nice aesthetically, and it gives kind of an interesting contrast, so it allows the piece to float up on top of it. And so this is where it's going to go when I'm ready to install it. And this piece is the one that hasn't been altered yet. So you can see this is what the original bracket looked like. And even though it's a nice bracket, it's very period in style, and it's not. It's kind of it's kind of weird animal like. I mean, it's an odd looking thing, and it's not to everybody's aesthetic taste, right? So this is one of the reasons why we thought this it's going to be a hard sell for some people, right? It's not going to fit everybody's style, but if we remove this part and then bring in something a little bit more streamlined, then we can get away with a shelf that's not as deep. It all just makes more sense that way. So that was the whole idea behind the alterations. And yeah, so this is a piece that still has to be cleaned and honed back, so it's still you can still see it's still got the sheen to it, and also that'll all get removed, and then this will be much brighter and cleaner because it looks all kind of smoky. I'll put it back up. So that's it for today. It's just a short video that I wanted to do. I'll do a follow-up video showing the final product. Just wanted to kind of, it's a little bit late in the year to get started for the first video, but I thought that I'd keep this going for what it's worth. And I'm glad that there are some people that are actually interested in this stuff and in my channel. So thanks for watching. All right, bye.